Hello and welcome to GT Sports Mates. You join us this week as we review one of our in-house races from the lads here at GT Sports Mates. Now, we weren't at full strength for this race, there was only 4 of us, but that won't take away from the action that this race delivered. Now, I did say you join us, and that's because I'm not alone. Tonight we're going to be joined by our friend John, who was the winner of the previous championship. So hello John, how are you?
Hiya. Yeah, good. Looking forward to seeing this.
I don't know if you agree with me, John, but for a while we've been wanting to start a new championship using the Super Formula, and I think this is an absolute perfect preview as to what that championship could be like.
Yeah, it was a really close one, wasn't it? And a nice change from what we did in the first championship. I think it worked really well what we did, but it's nice to change it up, isn't it? And I think this was really refreshing, driving those guys again in the same car, same specs car, with the same setup. It was quality.
It really was, and I think that actually nails it for me. It's the same car, so there's no like diversity of the cars, so you can't argue one car was better, one car was slower, one car was better in the corners. This just completely levels the playing field, and I think that is what's going to make this just absolutely superb. I really do think the upcoming championship will deliver high-end races.
Are we coming towards the end of lap 1 now? Just coming into the last sector, I think.
Yeah, this is the last corner into the second to last corner technically.
Just looking how close we are as a field. I mean, I know it's we've probably got a bit of a slipstream train going on, but it's looking close, isn't it? And
it really is.
I've got your slipstream coming towards turn 1 here.
I just tried to break it there. You can actually hear there as well. When I move across, your engine pitch actually changes. That's because obviously you instantly slow down a little bit because you're out the slipstream. I've never actually noticed that in the other cars. I actually think that's quite a nice little touch they've done to the game though.
Agreed, yeah, that's really good.
Here, I've got to apologise. I kind of cut you off a little bit there, so I do slow down to give you the position. And then Luke just decided to take complete advantage of that. And
capitalize on the opportunity.
Absolutely. And he's my future teammate, so I'm happy. I know what he'll be doing now, so that's fine with me.
I noticed that as Josh dropped off a bit at the back.
Yeah, he did drop off a little bit. I think he had a bit of an issue. This is where I went around the outside here. Don't know how I managed to get that round the hairpin there.
Really tired.
I'll be honest.
Really tired.
Yeah, Josh actually dropped off a little bit. I think he had an issue. I think he either went into one of the walls or he went off a little bit. But he did go off. But if whoever's watching this, please don't just think that's Josh over. As we know from Josh, you can't count him out. He will make a comeback.
We're pretty much 3 abreast there, going around there, weren't we?
Literally just going to say the same thing. This is the last corner onto the straight, and we are pretty much 3 abreast there. So this is just a slipstream train now. So this track, we've not actually, I don't think we've raced on this track for a long time, have we? There's a few different setups for Sardegna.
It's been a while. I'm not sure we've ever raced on this particular layout, but since the last time we were on like you said, this particular sort of this track, maybe perhaps not this layout, but this track, it's been a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think for anyone who's listening in, if you liked our last championship, please stay tuned because we will be doing another championship in the Super Formula, and this actual track, will be part of that championship. So expect more of this kind of racing. But obviously there'll be more of us than just before. Like I said, we weren't at full strength for this race. But I honestly, I don't really think numbers matter. Sometimes having smaller numbers of cars can actually make it a little bit more interesting. Not as chaotic at the start, so the grouping's together a lot closer. And I think this just worked perfect for us tonight. I have no idea how I got that to stick around that corner, I'll be honest. My future teammate there, giving me a good shove from behind.
I remember seeing you getting that tank slapper in the mirror as I was coming off that corner.
I reckon if I hadn't have held that tank slapper, then I don't think I'd have caught up to you down here. I'd have fell well behind her.
Nice move up the inside there.
Do you know what? I've got to say this, and I think we've said this a few times in previous videos. When we're all racing, we're all giving each other the space that's required. There's none of us really cutting anybody off, like on purpose anyway. There's obviously racing incidents, it does happen, but I think the racing level has become really good now. We're all giving each other the perfect amount of room, and I think that just speaks more about us, because you can go on any lobby on Gran Turismo, and it's just dirty drivers. In fact, if anyone's watching, there's a video exactly about that on the channel. Please give it a watch. And that's what I enjoy about doing our in-house races. There is no dirty driving whatsoever. And if one of us does make an issue, like I went across your front before a little bit, and I give you a bit of a knock, so I slowed down to give you that position back. It's just, that's how it works, and that's how it should be.
Yeah,
almost
I agree.
And I think Luke's just done the same thing. You actually slowed down there because you hit me going around the hairpin.
Yeah.
And Luke's took advantage of that as well. so
He's
far,
used a lot of his overtake, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. I think at this point, I haven't used any at this point. You haven't used any there either. And that could
I used a touch. I saw a moment ago. I used a tiny little bit coming off of one corner, but that's all I've used.
I haven't used any at the minute. Luke's obviously used some. I'm not sure about Josh. We've not seen Josh at the minute. I've tried to keep the video to where the action is. Not saying Josh wasn't in the action, but he's a little bit further back at the minute. But he will be making an appearance, so stay tuned. So this track then, we've said we've not done this particular track before. It's got 15 turns, for anyone who's interested. 15 turns, and it's 3.1 miles long, 5.1 kilometers. I tell you, if you'd have got that to stick, that'd have been absolutely amazing. Here look at this now, Josh. Absolutely, I don't know where he's come from, but look at his overtake. He's used it all.
Wow, yeah.
But he's back in the race. He's back with us. So, and if we know anything about Josh, you can't write this guy off. He's capable of putting up some proper laps. So, got to keep an eye on him here.
Gaps opened out to you there. That hairpin. I've lost a bit of time on that hairpin, haven't I?
A little bit there, yeah.
Use some overtake as well now.
I love listening to how the cars come past. It sounds amazing. They've done so well with these cars, I think. Josh there going up into third. Is he going to make it stick? No. Well defended, John. Well defended.
This battling here is losing this chasing pack time. We're losing time to you now.
I was a little bit aware of that happening whilst doing the race. So I've made the mistake in the past of easing off a little bit, and I've learned the hard way not to do that. So I was still trying to go for this as much as I could, and I still at this point haven't used any of my overtake, so I wanted to save it just in case. Oh, going for the undercut. You're going to get it?
I knew at some point of this lap
nice.
it was going to be difficult to close that gap if I didn't get through. And
Josh up into second.
Get the hammer down, and just struggling to clear
nice
Josh and Luke. They're just so quick.
They are very quick. And the undercut, you're going to get it. Oh, nicely held. Nicely held. And Josh, out of nowhere, up into second place. Honestly, it's just, I love these races. They just bring, I think that these kind of races bring the best out of all of us.
Yeah. I knew here now it was going to be really difficult to catch you, so I was just like, game time. It's game time. Got to get the hammer down.
You can see the overboost, the overtake being smashed through the pad, I can only imagine.
I knew I needed to take a chunk out. I needed to try and take as much as I could out of you this lap to try and get a bit of a slipstream on the last lap.
Well, you're doing well there. You're going purple on the 7th lap, so you're doing something right. This corner here, I think, is probably the best one on the track. It's completely flat out. Oh, we've missed it. Have I missed it then? I think I might have missed it. Yeah, I'll talk about it on the next lap. But I think, this lap here, this one here, this corner, yeah. Completely flat out through there. I found myself in 6th gear. At first, I was going round in 5th. I don't know what possessed me to try it in 6th, but somehow I managed to get to stick, and I think that's probably what helped me kind of pull away a little bit.
Yeah, I was having to downshift to 5th there.
But again, look at this now, the gap opening up between 2nd and 3rd. And now there's a good gap between all of us, but again, you can't write anybody off. You can't write anybody off when it comes to these races. It only takes one slit to completely turn a race. Ooh, on the gravel.
Yeah.
On the gravel.
Taking every inch, push a little bit more.
You can see you're pushing there now. I think this is where I start using my overtake. I see you climbing in, so I'm like closing down, so I'm like, right, now I've got to use it.
I think it was about 2 seconds behind at this point.
This corner here, I always found probably the trickiest because it's a lot tighter than it looks, and you can see Josh there just going into the wall a little bit. It's a lot tighter than it looks, and you feel like you can go around it a little bit quicker. And if you just take 1 mile an hour too quick, you're gonna hit the barrier. It's gonna cost you even more time.
Yeah, it's quite a long one, isn't it? It's deceiving. When you go into it, you feel like you can carry more speed than you actually can. So you have to kind of back out more than you feel like you should.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Josh up into 3rd now. Luke putting the pressure on. Will it be enough? What's going to happen to come around the last hairpin? Josh going to get the undercut? Possible? No! Oh, that corner's claimed you and Josh there almost, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting the power down, isn't it? These cars are so much more powerful than the other ones that we've used. Trying to get the power down early is quite a challenge.
It is. Well, there we go. There. That was a cracking race. So, thanks for joining us, John. And for anybody else watching, thank you, and we'll see you all next time.